Hi everyone, welcome to the Center for Love and Light in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm Jamie Butler and I'm here with Marco Pardi. And we mentioned before, we're here out of our own free will, just to hash some topics out. Marco doesn't know what I'm going to literally pull out of the hat, because I just want to see his raw just answer on this thing. Law of attraction. Ooh, he didn't roll his eyes or anything. You know how people have these cards, you're supposed to think of something and then you draw it out. It's a law of attraction, so it's going to give you your answer. So Marco, I want you to think of something that's happening in your life, something that you want an answer or a connection to, and then just draw in the hat, Ooh, if we only had music for this.
There's no scorpion in here or snake. What's that moving around in there?
Don't. I'm not that person. Holy cow. So do you care to share with us, or you want to keep it a secret?
Oh, well, here it is, truth. Rather a narrow presentation of truth, but there it is nonetheless.
I asked, why do I do things with Marco? And it said transformation, which is so true. So for me, I got something out of that. For me, I would say that was a law of attraction. This is highlighting the kind of energetic vibration that I'm putting out, and it's putting it into a word that I can use however I'd want to give me more insight of what my question was.
Okay.
Do you believe in something like that?
I don't believe in anything.
Why don't you believe in anything?
I told you before, belief is when questions stop. I always question.
Belief is what?
When questioning stops, I always question.
So you're not... But wait. You can still believe in something like a baseline and still interrogate the hell out of it.
I find the concept belief offensive.
Okay, so what word can I use? Idea?
Well,
sign up for that idea?
When you pose a question, you're framing the answer.
I'm trapping you.
Exactly, and I don't know exactly what you're looking for when you pose a question like that.
Oh my gosh, we probably as parents do that to our kids all the time.
Yeah.
Okay,
and the kid has to learn how to interpret what it is you're looking for as an answer. And if they successfully interpret it, then they get on in life. If they don't, you kick their ass.
I'm not an ass kicker.
Well, all right, but you get my point.
Yes, no, I get your point. So I want to rephrase what I want to ask you. I was talking about the law of attraction. Okay, something as simple as that. I wanted to know what your insight was on. Well, what is your insight on the topic of law of attraction?
I can't say that I'm terribly familiar with, I mean, certainly I've heard that concept, law of attraction, but I've heard it in several different ways. For example, I've heard, oh, well, like attracts like, but then I've heard opposites attract and so forth. So what are you supposed to do with this law of attraction? Where are we going with this?
And thank you for letting me clarify. The way that I see it is, if you are designing a blueprint with your thoughts, with your words, vision board, vision quest, if you've got a particular thought quality, energetic quality blueprint, does life therefore fulfill that blueprint that you have?
Oh, this goes back to creative visualization, which my first experience with that, at least my first exposure to that, was again back in the 70s with an author named Shakti Gawain. And that idea was resurrected recently in a video series and a book called The Secret. There was absolutely nothing new in that. They simply rehashed, just like the Myers-Briggs is a rehash of Carl Jung's framework. But most people don't know that, so they think, well, Myers-Briggs. In the same way, most people don't know that The Secret was actually a rework of what Shakti Gawain came up with in the 70s and called creative visualization. Now, in answer to your question, what's my view of it? It's tempting it's tempting to think, oh, I can develop a desire for something, and if I properly frame it, I will bring it into being. Is that where you're going?
Okay, yeah.
Apparently, I'm a very unsuccessful person if that's the case.
What? You say it's tempting.
Unless I back up and I say, oh, well, I must have wanted that. Now, that's a kind of a cheap way out, don't you think?
I do.
Okay, does that answer your question?
You don't sign up for it at all. But you brought up an interesting point, that if you sign up for the idea of it and you create it, is that really what's happening? Are you that much in control where you're creating it, or is it that you're finally aware of it enough that life is just showing it to you more, or that it already existed, you're just paying attention to it a little bit more?
All right, I'll see if I can approach this from another angle, which may be supportive of what I think you're looking for.
Okay, go.
And I can
Don't try to say what I'm looking for. I want you to say what you're thinking.
All right, what we're generally talking about. I can say that I have had experiences in my life that I vividly remember, in which at some point in my life I clearly and knowing in the sense of I know this is going to be, I know this is what's real. I clearly and knowingly was able to visualize events, significant events, that were to come later in my life. You could call it a premonition. Now, how you explain that, we could get into the nature of time. We could look at the concept that's recently come out, or at least recently been labeled in physics, called the amplituhedron, which explains that, or purports to explain, that time and space are an illusion, and what I think is my future is not really my future. What I'm experiencing is simply a focus that I'm calling present, and that I can get glimpses at times of what I label and call future, when in fact it's not future in the true sense.
Words are very limiting.
Well, again, when we allow ourselves to fall into the habit of categorizing something, then what we're doing is we're making it distinct from all those things we don't include in the category. Mm-hmm. If I say present, then I draw a line around this concept of present. But where is present? Can you please find me present?
No, because once you say it is gone, and it's moved on to another snapshot.
Exactly.
But you were talking about this kind of so-called premonition of seeing into the future. Is that what you would call making a blueprint? Did you follow through with that? Did it come real?
No, I didn't say to myself at the time, I didn't say, I'm going to make this happen. I simply felt it as a reality at the time. I didn't formulate some plan. I didn't say, ooh, I like that. Yeah, I want to bring that into being. Now, how do I go about it? No, I simply experienced it in the same way that you're experiencing the physical present, whatever you want to call that, right now. I experienced it as a reality. And I said, okay, well, you know, if you want to become very, very convenience-oriented, you can say, when the time comes, I'll have that, or I'll be that, or I'll do that when the time comes. But here again, that introduces an artificial progression.
I think that the premonition is a little bit more different than the law of attraction, is how people are calling it, or the secret. But I like that you're describing, the differences of time and how that plays a part in what any of us are attracting or viewing as being in a different, frame set, I guess we could call it. But quickly, tell me, yes or no, do you believe the way that you
don't believe
view
anything.
Crap. Someone has got to write me and give me a different word so I can talk to this man. Do you sign up for the concept? Idea.
Of law of attraction?
What you perceive is what comes to you.
Oh, well, certainly what you perceive is what comes to you. That goes almost without saying, that what else comes to you other than what you perceive?
That's all this is, right?
Okay.
You're setting out kind of a perception, an idea, creative visualization, and it's being highlighted. Do it one more time. Ask, why do you do these things? I'm going to tell them what to do now.
Why do I do these things? Lottery ticket. Joy? Me? Joy? Are you kidding me? Joy, that's gotta be okay.
Wait, why do I do this? For inspiration.
Okay. Well, I'm being very joyful now.
Good, thank you. So hopefully you can come to your own conclusion of really what the law of attraction is. Is it that your environment is highlighting what you're putting out there, or is it that you're perceiving it because you're looking through your own filters, or is it all just a trick of time? Write us and let us know. You can leave a comment here on YouTube, or you can go to withloveandlight.com, hit contacts, and send us your questions or your insights. Thank you for joining us. I'm Jamie Butler and
Marco Pardi.